Before you love again, true love must...
Jake Baldwin
Yeah.
on trumpet and flugelhorn. Yep, Joe Strand. Mike Sodnick.
Yep.
Asher Kurtz.
Yep.
Not only your brother Max, but your
Yeah.
sister Deidre.
Yes.
Yeah, doing vocals on a couple of the songs.
Mm-hmm.
Ted Olson, and again, of course, Miguel.
Yes.
Anyone else?
Well, I guess we gotta give a shout out to Kevin Scott.
Oh yes,
too.
so in terms of the production.
Well,
yeah.
but Kevin also sang. We did
yeah.
some gang vocals on the Bright Side One.
Yeah, there's a whole choir.
Yeah. So we were all around this great microphone that Justin has, and we were just belting out this thing, and I was sort of we were sort of directing the flow of our voices in that way. A lot of the vocals that are done on the record are like me layered a lot of times, which is something I really like doing. But that part is like the true gang vocal.
So sonically, the layering of lots of Nelsons works nicely with there being multiple saxes.
Yeah.
Like and often like the brass section will be reflecting the vocal line on some of the songs.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, the idea of unison, things being in unison.
Mm-hmm.
That was a defining feature of the record for me.
Sure.
And for this moment then that we can hear at the moment in The Bright Side One, what's the vocal line that everyone's singing?
Well, it's a melody.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not necessarily the melody of the song.
Yeah.
I mean, you want me to sing it?
Yeah.
Well, there aren't any words. I mean, at that point,
okay.
it's what I wanted to happen there was like this sort of like cosmic explosion of voices. That line, when everyone comes in, it's like this huge crescendo, and then
Yeah.
And then it finally resolves to the piano coming back.
Yep.
And it's just like a really important part of that song,
So it's just after the lyric before that is "It's tonight when the air is hot for you."
When the air is hot for you.
Yeah, and I love the delivery of that line too.
Yeah.
It sounds sultry.
Yeah.
We get the mood is set.
Yeah.
And then suddenly there's the gang.
Yep, exactly.
And that's, I think, the end. Is that the end of the vocals on the song? Then
Yeah.
Then it's purely instrumental.
Yeah, exactly.
This song is it's track 6 of 11. It's right at the heart.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that there is... You encouraged me to listen to the songs in order as I was preparing for the interview.
Yes.
I can see why that would be the case, because it seems like the trajectory is important. Is there like a narrative trajectory?
Yes, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that broad scope it's sort of like an ignorance versus awareness type of a situation.
Okay.
For the window, like as a topic as a whole.
Yeah.
You get songs like Kobayashi's Ball that are basically
Which is
like
the opening track.
there's like emotional intent in everything.
Yeah.
But it's less like serious necessarily. But like at a certain point you reach the mirror and it's like,
which is instrumental.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's sort of like that's the track right there.
Emotionally, that kind of sets.
I feel like that really puts it all in. I mean, the record goes a lot of different places, but like you arrive there, and that's the moment for introspection on the part of the listener, and it took patience to record that song as well. I mean, it's not like by any means like super stressful music, but like it's sort of this. It's like a tone poem almost, or I hate to use that cliche, but like it's like it's just a moment. It's a moment in time stretched out, and I guess taking that in the context of the record, like the window being like everyone can look out the window and obviously there's a ton of different things you can see.
That one could see, yeah.
Yeah, but
even if it's the same window, like people will see different features.
Exactly.
Things
Everyone's looking for something different in that sense, but something that also fascinates me, which is also like it's not earth-shatteringly crazy or anything, but like you look at a window for long enough and you realize that it really does have a reflective character. So like. You're looking at computer screen or a telephone or whatever you're looking outwards, but then you look for a long, you can see your own reflection, and it's like, well, cool, like, is what's out there because of what's here? Or like that's what I was thinking about when I was making that record, just like getting down to square one and just being like, okay, well, let's take a look at what do I have here, like. Yeah. And then what's going on outside, and like taking a breath too is also a part of that record.
We look out the window, and there's the idea of getting outside oneself, looking outside oneself. Mm-hmm. But then the more you get involved in it and you see this reflection, you realize, oh, even now, I'm trying to break out of whatever it is, but I'm not completely out. Like, I can see myself, and it's bringing home the subjectivity involved. What I see out the window is different from what anyone else sees out the window. So in the sole reference to a window lyrically in the record, which is in the song Just Great, which we can hear, the window shows a setting sun. And is that the chorus? Is that in the chorus?
It's not the chorus proper, it's like a verse.
Yeah, sometimes stuff can make you feel like you've lost the old appeal. That means you love the world and smile, is it?
That makes you love the world and smile.
Okay, that you've lost the old appeal that makes you love the world and smile.
And all the while, it's getting dark, the window shows the setting sun. You're not the only one.
So what's going on there? Because we were talking about the idea of looking out a window and then you're thinking, oh, I'm still trapped because I'm just seeing myself looking back at me. But then you're not the only one.
That
so what's going on there?
I mean, that song, it was an effort for me to really try to hammer home the point that no matter what is going on in your life, things will get better.
Yeah, and speaking the metaphor of hammering home the point, it will get better.
Yeah,
like
it's
percussively,
pretty punctuated.
Exactly.
Yeah, in that, I mean, if you're, that it was a precursor to where we're at right now, in like it's kind of political. I mean, let's be honest, man.
When did you write Just Great?
Well, it had to have been right around the time of the election.
Yeah.
I didn't, honestly, the thing about all the songs is that they were all written like pretty close to when we recorded them. So like within a month and a half.
In the run up to the election, or was the result?
Yeah, it must have been. I think I wrote the words for that song after the election had happened. So it was one of the later ones.
And then the words "Never better I lied" is how it begins. Put you down where I like it, in the corner of my mind, far away from the racket of the actual goings on. Surround yourself with light.
Yeah,
that's a really intriguing opening, I think. Lying about being just great. Sonically, it's the most prominent instruments at the beginning of the song, at least to my like piano and bass. Yeah. And so it's a little bit more stripped down. This is another song where it's not rollicking. And interestingly, we had the mirror, which is like the most reflective and contemplative. Then we've got Firefly, which is one of the most poppy and rollicking, I think.
Dude, it's such a pop song.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
That and Watch Out, I think, are the two most immediate and kind of poppy.
Yeah.
But so we have Firefly, which is an interesting, that's the meat between, that's sandwiched between the mirror and Just Great. And so Just Great, then it's like, I think with the help of the guidance of the lyrics there, then we feel depleted and lost. And the idea of putting someone down in the corner of one's mind where one likes it, trying not to think about someone or something, what's going on there?
Well, basically, yeah, I mean, putting something out of your mind that you know will never leave your mind.
Yeah.
But
put it in the corner.
Like, but the control thing is there. It's like, yeah, I want to put this aside because I like it better that way.
Something that I wanna do. Something that I wanna do. I'll bend the rules tonight. Something that I wanna do.
Something that I want to do. Another one where I love the piano bass notes.
Ah, yes.
Here, there's and there are moments in the song where the pianist. Who's the pianist?
It's Joe Strand.
Okay, where Joe kind of ventures beyond that area, but the decision to just play mostly bass notes, certainly in the opening verse, and the way in which that's working with the percussion in the opening verse, like it's the instrumentation I think is really great on this song.
Cool.
And so yeah, what's happening with this one?
This is sort of like this is like one particular moment in life. When I was writing this song, I was picturing a very like dark. I was picturing colors in like a scenario, like someone who is constantly being woken up at night by different things, and they're in sort of a remote area.
Interrupted, not getting the rest that they need.
They're not getting the rest they need. They're going downstairs. They're going into the bathroom. They're turning on the light. They're looking in the mirror. They're doing that over and over and over again. It's a loop. It's like some weird feedback loop. In itself, might actually just be a dream.
But a restless sleep.
Yeah, but they're telling themselves that it's like something that they want to do. And like I lie awake at night. Yeah, it's something that I want to do. It's something that I want to do. And it's like, is it though? Like, isn't that really something that you want to
do? Better stay where I am, reach the mirror. This face sidelight is got me full of fear. My mind's on the future, I guess I'll go upstairs again.
On the other side of the mirror, we have, I think, the most conventional song structure, the poppiest.
Yeah.
It's based on a guitar riff.
Yep.
And it's called Firefly. And beginning with the lyrics again, I just found out you want to play the. I actually couldn't work out.
I'll clarify. I just found out you weren't okay.
Oh.
The simple pages don't mean the same thing.
The closer we are, the further we go.
Yeah, the closer we are, the further we are. This song is just throwing it out there as finding out that a friend had cancer via Facebook.
Wow.
And it's, an old friend from back when I was growing up in Wauwatosa, which actually that's the means firefly, which is it's a town I went to school in. I grew up in Milwaukee and live in Milwaukee, but the neighboring town is called Wauwatosa, and I did schooling there, middle high school, and it's just about how screwed up it is to learn that someone who was once so close to you has like life altering disease,
and to find out about it through
Facebook, another window that we all look at. We're all looking at so much in our, or a lot of people are, not everybody, of course, but it's very prevalent in our society, to be looking at so what are they doing or whatever, and it's just like, okay, well, man, I wish I would have learned about that like through a friend, or like someone would have like called me or something.
So it wasn't through a Facebook message, it was through...
No, it was just like, this is like how I'm doing now at week whatever, and I'm like, oh my God, I just can't even believe it. And just like, what a weird scenario that is, you know. You look into this, not to break it down to this level, but man, I mean, it's this weird little box that everyone carries around, and you get to know what's going on. Yeah. Super far away, super removed. Yeah.
So we've got...
You can feel like you intimately know somebody that way, but you're super, super removed, super separate. And
there's no
connection really.
Yeah.
But it's like
there's knowledge.
But but you know it. Yeah, it's really bizarre. And basically, when I saw that, I took stock, and I was just like, oh yeah, this is me looking in the mirror, and like, I just started thinking about growing up and like a bunch of those feelings. Yeah, it's thinking about like scenarios in which we were interacting, and how like some of those were very special times and very formative in those years of growing up. Because I'm looking at where I came from and how quickly that went, you know, it's like, it's another like sort of introspective piece here, because now we've reached the mirror and we're looking now back on where it all began. So
it's an introspective piece which is somehow like haunted in a strange way by the joyful sound of
it's
the time
out.
before this cycle.
Yeah.
I love how cinematic the whole record is, and this especially comes through in there's a music video for the beginning.
Yeah.
And in the artwork too, it's Nelson Devereaux in the window, or with the previous single like Nelson Devereaux in My Bones. So it's a couple of things that suggests a couple of things to me. The idea of you being a protagonist, like it's almost like a movie, and you're like the character in the movie, or the star of the movie, Nelson Devereaux in. But then also, like separately from the focus on you, it makes it seem like a narrative. It makes it seem like a... what aspects of is it consciously, are you purposefully suggesting a movie there? And if so, what attributes of a movie relate to this record?
Well, I mean, I think cinematic is the word to use. I mean, it definitely, I guess it was conscious. I knew going in, again, like, this is a studio record. We're going to have the opportunity to kind of make things sound larger than life. And it was almost like writing, it was almost, I almost thought of it like I was writing a script for a movie.
Yeah.
When I was writing the songs. And
the lyrics in particular, or the songs?
I think more of the songs themselves. Like that, I was thinking about this earlier. Yeah, because you pick the people that you want to play on your record, and it's like casting a movie. People that work well together, people that you trust, and you trust them to do things that you wouldn't necessarily do sometimes. Not that that's totally the case on this record. I think the dudes on the record really nailed, what I wanted to hear, in terms of the music.
So doing their own thing in a way that actually is what you want.
Exactly.
And not coincidentally because you've selected them.
No, right, exactly, yeah. So these people are people that I've known for a while in a lot of cases, and ones that I know their sound enough that I cast them, for these roles. And it's funny, it's sort of subconscious. I didn't necessarily like go into it being like, this is a movie, but I think that's subconsciously that is exactly how it went down. And it definitely shows in that way. Just because we were able to do it,
How did the music video for the beginning come about? Because a lot of the album artwork relates to that video, like you in the swimming pool, for example.
Right. Yeah. That was sort of spur of the moment kind of thing. I I knew I was going to Mexico. I went to Mexico earlier this year. It was a really nice experience to sort of like clear my head with some family members, and my sister's boyfriend he's got a pretty nice camera, and he was joking about making a music video, and I was like, well, I mean, we could make a music video. Like, I've got a song that would be perfect for it. And I think before I was even at this place we were staying, which, by the way, was extremely bizarre, just being in Mexico, like, after the election, too. Yeah. It's like, and just like the strange hypocrisy about everybody that I met down there, and the weird sort of aggression, not the Mexican people, but like the white people down there. It's really crazy.
So like other tourists?
Yeah, like other tourists who are just like just wanted to like pick fights about, I don't know what about me screams that I want to talk about politics. I'm definitely down to listen, but and I love talking about it and thinking about it as much as it destroys me on the inside.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I wanted to capture some of that weird, surreal quality of staying in like this resort where people are working really hard to like make things comfortable for other people, mostly foreigners.
To make it very
uncomfortable. They're like, exactly, and there was this weird like surreal quality to a lot of that in that shoot, and I basically I was like, I wrote this screenplay or whatever it's called, minute by minute.
Like plotting out.
Yeah, I plotted out what was going to happen in the first day we were there, and I was like, well, hey, dude, let's just shoot this thing and like get it done, and because that's sort of how I operate. If I have an idea, I just want to like do it. You know.
You're doing it in this shirt, I believe. Is that?
Yeah,
right?
I am actually. Yeah. This is was not my shirt originally, but.
You've made it your own.
Yes. But yeah, so there is some like there's a strange quality to that music video in itself, and it's sort of like this. It sort of mirrors the lyrics too. It's like sort of like semi-sarcastic, but also, you know, I was having a good time. I won't lie.
Seems in the video like you're having a good time.
Yeah, it was fun. But yeah, it's like sort of out there. And
you said it kind of mirrors the lyrics, and the opening lyrics are, well, something happened, turned it all around. I need a minute to quell the anxious ground.
Yeah, and that's a direct reference to just taking a break from everything that's going on and feeling weird about stuff.
So then was it your brother-in-law that had the good camera,
or? My sister's boyfriend.
Your sister's boyfriend. Yeah. So when your sister's boyfriend said, "Oh, we can make a music video," and you are in the process of taking a minute to quell the anxious ground. Yeah. On that holiday. Yeah. So on that vacation. So then you think, this is the feeling. We can capture that feeling by making a video for that song.
Yeah, and I think that was maybe more directly related to like me just like taking a break from a lot of different projects that I had been doing before, but also like doing other things.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm referring to like take what you're given, throw it all away, which is maybe the second verse of that song.
Yeah. But nothing's granted.
But nothing's granted. It's noticed and they say. So that is a kind of a relation. Like you can choose to not take everything for granted, and people will notice that about a person's character.
Yeah.
So it's your choice. Take what you're given and throw it all away. But on the other hand, nothing's granted. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
make the most of what you have, just in a difficult situation.
Exactly.
Then in the video, you're swimming, you're dancing. We referenced that. You're walking around with a Green Bay Packers kind of sun hat.
Yeah.
And a pineapple.
Yep. There's a great pineapple drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it seemed, you seem to be doing what the song is promoting.
Yeah, I mean, on the most basic level, like just taking a break and starting over. Yeah. The beginning. That's all there. I mean,
and then at the end of the beginning video, you shed both this shirt and said hat and dive into the ocean.
Yes.
Which the ocean seems crucial to the record. the ocean, it begins with the sound of the ocean.
Mm-hmm. And it ends with the sound.
And it ends with the sound of the ocean.
Of the ocean.
But it doesn't end, and it ends pretty much with the beginning. The beginning is the second from final track. So that's counterintuitive. Why do we get this like new beginning, perhaps?
Well, that's gonna come. That goes right into the next record. The beginning is the end.
The beginning is the end.
Which is to say,
the end is
nonchalantly. Yeah, the end is not. Yeah, exactly. It makes way for Bad Water, which is the next. That's the fourth record.
Oh, okay. Bad Water is the one which is like the sister to Early Fall.
And I'm very excited for people to hear that.
Okay, so you dive into the ocean and find yourself in bad water. That sounds ominous.
It's a fun one.
It's fun, but also dark.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of the above, my friend.
So,
yeah.
Whereas the music video ends with like the end of what we might call the song.
Yeah.
On the record, so the record ends with about a minute or so of, am I hearing it correctly, like street sounds? There's like a thumping, is it thumping bass?
Yeah, basically we like threw it through like, it just like built up on the bass and then it would start to feed back and it was just such a crazy sound in the studio. It was just Justin Anderson and I who, he engineered the record, and we were just, it was late one night and I was like, I really want to incorporate this field recording that I got in Mexico of the street. And basically we were walking on this like boardwalk and that went split off into the ocean, basically. So like you hear the street sounds and it's really a beautiful 1 minute and 30-second clip.
Yeah.
I think it's like, as a composition it could stand on its own, but it went at the end of the song and we like, it just like thumps up and it gets all crazy.
Are you approaching the ocean on that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it was like there are so many different cool sounds. Like I think my mom says something like, I was with my mom, and I was, and like some vendors, and there's like a tiny little bit of music playing in the distance, some street performers, and then it's like. Yeah, it's like so weirdly compact in this little clip, and then I veer off onto the section of the boardwalk that goes out into the ocean, and of course the waves are just crashing, and it's just sort of like enveloped my spirit, and I was like, this is what I want people to hear. This is what I want people to be feeling at the end of this record.
The final note.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that the ocean at the beginning of Kobayashi's Ball sounds much more inviting than the ocean at the end of the record.
Mm-hmm.
And whereas at the end of the beginning video, it's like a new beginning, dive into the ocean, the world is one's oyster, it's a positive thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's something, I feel like I'm entering like the dark water at the end of the record. It's definitely, it's not inviting, I think, the sound of the ocean there.
At that point, it's sort of like water being like kind of a life-giving rebirth sort of analogy, but also it's turning, it's twisting.
It could
it's
kill you as well.
The elements. It's completely indifferent, of anyone's feelings, and I've always had like a really strong connection to water, and for whatever reason, and it will become very obvious on the next record how wacky that is. But
is the next record recorded?
Yeah, it's almost done.
Nice.
I have like about a day of recording I need to do on it yet. So.
Well, I hadn't met you when you made Love Nelson.
Yeah.
But it seems to be the case that we have this nice continuity from interview to interview, because we did Early Fall, with the one which is below this on the YouTube. At some point in the future, then at the top of this playlist will be our interview about the bad water. Yeah. The bad water that, as this record now draws to a close,
right,
you're sonically transitioning to. Is that the note on which the new record opens?
I don't think
so. You said that there was like a transition from.
Yeah, it's supposed to. Really, like, it's supposed to be sort of a linear thing. Like this zone that we are going to end up in. We get there because we've gone through the window.
Yeah.
So, I guess...
Through the window to the water.
Yeah, I think I don't know. thinking about records in that way is kind of interesting to me, and making it sort of like, I don't know, kind of running into each other in weird ways.
Yeah.
Little references and whatnot. So
I like that.
Yeah, we'll likely be talking about that one at a certain point. I just need to like let people listen to The Window, I guess, or like I have to tell myself that people haven't heard this record yet.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you've heard it now with our voices over it, so now go and listen to it on Bandcamp.
Yeah.
Nelson Devereaux at Bandcamp.
Yeah.
Right? And and the conversation you've teased people just enough about Badwater.
Yeah.
So this conversation is to be continued.
Absolutely. Yes.
But in the meantime, immerse yourself in the sea. Look through the window and immerse yourself in that ocean.
Yeah.
And we'll have Nelson back soon. This has been Back to the City. I've been Simon Cole. This is Nelson.
Hi.
And please enjoy The Window. It's great.
Thank you, Simon.
You're very welcome.
Looking at a setting sun at the window, just it's turning to night. If that's like a negative thing happening, but like then knowing that you're not the only person that's in that situation.
Yeah.
And then we're kind of all in this together, and that it will get better somehow.
Yeah.
But like willing it to get better, like you don't know how or when, but that's the message behind that song.
Speaking of being in it together and it will get better, what if it doesn't get better? I believe that the noise that we heard was big cats at the door. So from windows to doors.
Yeah.
Let's invite big cats to join us.
Yeah, let's do it. He's ringing
He's
again.
certainly there.
Hey, buddy.
Welcome. This is Jay Mackey, who owns the good camera. Let me know if you like it.
Oh, hey, thanks.
Yeah.
Killing it.
Well, summertime.
The cat sax shorter thing that we're doing, which is what primarily involves Spencer. We can do just with these.
Cool. All right.
I think we'll probably have a different setup because
Sure.
these
Yeah,
two
I
stools are
mean,
kind of
unless
set
he
up
wants to sit on my lap.
Yeah.